Today, we're going to talk about the scoreboard and why you should have one and who's probably not going to like it when you do. I'm Rachel Evans. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Workshop Whisperer, where we've been helping auto repair shop owners just like you to achieve business success for the last 12 years. Let's talk about the scoreboard. And this is something that we've been encouraging our clients to implement, even in a very primitive form, right since the launch of the first program that we introduced into the market in 2014 in Auto Superstars Academy. So, if you're going to implement a scoreboard of some kind, I recommend you do, even if you are operating solo at the moment, it's just you on the floor selling hours. And the reason that we want to do this is something we advocate for quite a lot, which is putting $1 million systems into your auto repair shop, even while it's small. So our scoreboard can just be a whiteboard, whether that's one stuck on the wall of the workshop itself, the workshop floor, or it's on a mobile whiteboard or something like that. But it must be clearly visible and clearly accessible to all team members. And what we want to occur here is that when a job is complete and it's ready for invoicing, the number of hours sold for that invoice is updated against that technician's day total of hours sold. So for each technician that you have, remembering if it's just you, you're going to be the only one on the board. You should have the number of hours available for them to sell in a day, and it should be Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday, whatever your operating hours are. So a section for each day for each technician. And you, as I said, at the conclusion of every job, once it's ready for invoicing, you walk up and the technician responsible, not you, if you've got more than just you doing it, you do yours, they do theirs. That's really important. They go up and say it's the second job they've done for the day on this particular invoice. There's been 1.5 hours. They've already got 2 hours up there on the board, so they change their day total to 3.5 out of the 8 they have available to sell. Now, why are we doing this? Well, number one, what gets measured gets improved over time. You might already be time clocking, and I 1000% hope that you are, but that lives inside a computer. And if you're not yet at the level where what is being time clocked is digitally populating on a screen somewhere in the workshop, which a number of our clients are at that level, but I'm going to assume that, we're just back at the basics here for this example. It's really important that your technicians are cognizant of the impact of them selling labor and what that has for your business. So what we want to happen here is that they understand that this metric is super meaningful, and we want them to sell as much labor as they can ethically, as close to their 8 hours per day as possible. And the way we keep this front of mind is by getting them to update their total at the end of each job. Our technicians, some of them will be naturally competitive and they will really enjoy this process. On the days when they're doing bigger jobs and they don't get to update the board as often, or they don't get to put anything on the board because their job's actually going to take 2 days, they might get a bit frustrated because it looks like they're not contributing, which is why we make sure in our daily huddles, those 7-minute meetings we're having in the morning and after lunch, we're acknowledging those that are on longer projects. We're acknowledging those who are doing well for the day, who might be on shorter jobs. And we're also asking those who seem to be slipping in performance or just aren't performing as well when it comes to closing their invoices with the hours that should have been sold. We're using those moments as on the spot moments for feedback, for brainstorming on how we help them solve those problems. Of course, if that was a continued trend of underperforming, you'd move those conversations into something deeper, either in a one-to-one in your office or the staff room, or through feedback forums once a quarter. But likely something like that you are going to want to address far more often than quarterly. Now, who isn't going to like this scoreboard? Well, winners love KPIs and love showing they can hit their KPI. So that only leaves losers who don't like a public display of what labour they're selling. They don't like a public display of them not hitting the target. These are the people that coast along for a paycheck. They will not like this scoreboard, and it will bring that out. And it is a challenge for your leadership as to what you do with that occurring. Because it was already happening that these people weren't efficient and weren't producing the same level of productivity as your other team members who are. And let's remember, your good team members will watch what you tolerate rather than listen to what you preach. So this scoreboard is going to bring out publicly any team member you have on deck who is coasting. Do you long-term want a coaster in your business? Of course you don't. So, as I said, winners love a scoreboard and they love a challenge, and they love showing that they can rise to the challenge. These are our A players usually. We usually have the culture to match somebody that loves operating in that situation. What we won't have a match for, and what this will bring to the forefront, are those who might have been under the radar or coasting through when you weren't addressing it. This is your opportunity to up-level your leadership and do something about that. So if you don't have some kind of scoreboard system, even in its most basic form, a whiteboard on the workshop floor, easily accessible, easy to view, easy to update, then let's get that started for the year ahead. And let's make sure that you hold everybody accountable to filling it in. It's no good that you implement this thing and everybody does it for a couple of days and then the team notices that you're off being busy again, so they just stop doing it. If you are that type of leader at the moment where you implement the good stuff but you don't make them adhere to it, your team will eventually get change fatigue and you'll go to implement something good, but they won't pay any attention to it because they know you're only going to stick to it for a few days. This is an easy one. Let's get it in place. Let's start tracking and let's watch those labour profit dollars soar. All righty. That is the conclusion of day 24 of Shop Talk, the 30-day reset for auto repair shop owners. Can't wait to be back here with you tomorrow on day 25. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and please like this video. See you tomorrow.